Leeds could be forced into a £100 million fire sale should they fail to win promotion. The Yorkshire outfit will face Norwich in the Championship playoffs after missing out on automatic promotion to Ipswich and Leicester City.
The first leg of the playoffs finished 0-0, and now Leeds host the Canaries at Elland Road tonight. If Leeds fail to reach the Premier League, there is expected to be a major clear-out in the summer.
To add to the nerves, the Whites have never won promotion via the playoffs. This is the 6th time they has been in a playoff and have failed in their previous 5 attempts. Read more in FOOTBALLSTAR in crash. Leeds stars £60,000 Land Rover smashes into cop car just hours before playoff. Camper win a VW campervan or £40,000 cash alternative from just 71p with our discount. The Daily Mail has reported that the club will have to raise almost £100 million if they remain in the Championship.
The report claims that star winger Crescencio Somerville, 22, would be the most likely to leave the club. The Dutchman has impressed this season with 19 goals and 9 assists in the league.
Other notable stars that could be set for the chopping block include goalkeeper Ilan Meslier, winger Willy Gnonto and forward Jorginho Rutter. Most read in Football Devil May Care Man United give all non-playing staff 1 week to decide whether to resign. Cliff Edge Man United face Europa League axe unless Sir Jim Ratcliffe makes urgent change. Negative vibes. Leicester at risk of Prem record points deduction for PSR breaches in jury woe moment. Man UTD's McTominay appears to struggle with injury on holiday by Pool Casino Special. Best Casino welcome offers promising youngster Archie Gray, 18, could also be sold with the likes of Liverpool being mooted as a potential destination.
The reason behind the potential sales is down to the club being at risk of breaching the EFL's spending rules. Most dramatic Premier League's final days, the host of sales would be able to offset the operating losses the club is currently dealing with.
In its latest set of accounts, the club lost £34 million, but it would have been £106 million if not for the sales of Calvin Phillips and Rafinha. In order to replace the potential outgoings, the club may have to rely on free agents and loan moves.
Leeds' past playoff failures. Here is a look at Leeds' past 5 failures to make it through the playoffs. By Justin Allen. 2019. Their last failure was one of the most dramatic and traumatic in the club's history. That season Leeds, under Marcelo Bielsa, were caught red-handed sending spies to snoop on Derby's training sessions during the regular season in an incident famously remembered as Spygate.
And it was written in the stars that the two clubs would collide in the playoffs. Leeds were cruising to victory in the two-legged semi-final, winning 1-0 at Pride Park thanks to a Kamaru strike and then 2-0 up in the tie after Stuart Dallas put them in front at Elland Road.
But a remarkable second half saw Derby win 4-2 on the night, with Manchester United midfielder Mason Mount among the scorers, to snatch a 4-3 victory. It prompted Rams boss Frank Lampard and his players to celebrate by mimicking holding binoculars to mock their opponents for their spying antics.
In 2009, Leeds were in their second season of 3 in League One and finished fourth to reach the end-of-season lottery where they faced Millwall in the semi-finals. And a Neil Harris winner 19 minutes from time gave the Lions an advantage to take to Elland Road for the second leg.
But Luciano Becchio gave the West Yorkshire faithful hope by giving his team the lead, only for it to all end in tears when midfielder Najim Abdo struck the fatal blow for the South Londoners 16 minutes from time. In 2008, having dropped into the third tier for the first time in their history, Simon Grayson's men were hopeful of bouncing back at the first attempt.
But they had to make do with the playoffs after only finishing fifth. And they reached the final after coming back from 2-0 down against Carlisle to win the two-legged semi 3-2 on aggregate. But James Hayter fired Doncaster's winner at Wembley to send Leeds' Yorkshire neighbours into the Championship instead.
In 2006, 2 seasons after dropping out of the Premier League, Leeds had a chance to bounce back after finishing 5th in the Championship. They managed to reach the final after beating Preston 2-0 at Deepdale with goals from Rob Hulse and Fraser Richardson to seal a 3-1 aggregate win.
But they did not make it easy for themselves as Stephen Craney got sent off with 21 minutes left and Richard Cresswell followed him in stoppage time. But the final was a complete disaster as Watford powered to a 3-0 win at Wembley with J.D. Merritt and Darius Henderson, from the spot, scoring on top of an own goal by keeper Neil Sullivan.
In 1987, Leeds were involved in a playoff marathon back in the days when both the semi-final and final were 2 legs, and if the scores were level the match would be replayed at a neutral venue. Having got past Oldham in the semi-finals on the old, away goal rule, they played the final home and away against Charlton.
Both teams won their home leg 1-0, James Melrose grabbing the winner at Selhurst Road where the Addicts were ground sharing and Brendan Ormsby at Elland Road. So the final had to be settled by a replay at Birmingham City's St Andrews. And after a goalless draw in 90 minutes, the game went into extra time, and although John Sheridan gave Billy Bremner's side a 99th-minute lead, Charlton prevailed with a late double from Peter Shirtliff.
Transfer News Live. All the latest transfer deals from around the world this summer.